11,000 dry lightning strikes we had over a 72-hour period, leading to this unprecedented challenge with these wildfires.
Why is my man looking like he's stopping them in the middle of the forest? POV, you're Gavin Newsom's best friend's wife, which he had sex with. He's too hot for politics. He really is. He's way too attractive.
This time next year, I hope we are listening less to the Russians and more to Dr. Fauci.
What?
There'll be 2 Americans who I will be happy to say are
Russians are guiding our coronavirus response? And then people get mad at me when I say, dude, Russiagate is like insane and so unreasonable. Russians tampering with our elections is one thing, but like literally pointing every bad thing that has happened in America, including like racial strife that has been at the core of American civilization, basically. It's been a fundamental part of our culture and the way that this country has been built for such a long time. Is so psychotic. Wait, who's tonight's speaker? Like, who's tonight's... Wait, what?
Hello, America. I'm Andrew Yang. You might know me as the guy who ran for president talking about math and the future.
Whoa!
That future is now. If you voted for Trump or didn't vote at all back in 2016, I get it. Many of us have gotten tired of our leaders seeming far removed from our everyday lives.
Cute. Like,
and
he's so nice.
Our government will...
Look, for as much as I shit on Yang and make fun of Yang Gang, he is better at communicating actual leftist economic populism, despite the fact that he himself is technocratic as shit. It doesn't matter. He is very good at, I've always said this since day one, he's very good at addressing the problems that Americans are seeing every day. Walking it back, huh?
With us throughout the evening.
Before Andrew Yang hit mainstream, because of my obsession with right-wing podcasters and shit, I was paying attention to Andrew Yang since day one. I'm one of the first people to criticize his UBI proposals. I'm the hipster Yang Ganger. All the Yang Gang people are fake as fuck, bitch.
We decided to add a 5th night where we will just play Michelle Obama's speech on a loop.
Everybody shut the fuck up. Don't you dare.
I played the vice president.
Don't you dare talk about my queen, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I will end this stream right now in a rage quit.
Soon after.
Do not. You are right now on thin ice, everybody. Chat is on notice. You stop it.
I'm Sister Simone Campbell, Executive Director of Network and leader of Nuns on the Bus. Tonight marks an important next chapter in our story of who we will become as a nation.
Whores in this house.
So
There's
I
some
speak
whores
to
in
you
this
with
house.
a sense
There's
of
some whores in this
urgency and hope, knowing the difficult work ahead.
Oh, come on. Okay, I gotta stop.
First paragraph.
Oh, no, dude. Bad timing, Dono.
And you're
don't with nuns. No, I love nuns, dude. I no disrespect. Hey, everybody who's freaking out over separation of church and state or whatever, edgy r/atheist, like, chill. There are plenty of well-intentioned and really nice religious people, and religious figures, and religion in general has played a significant role in the abolition movement, has played a significant role in the civil rights movement. Cool it a little bit, okay? The reason why I laughed at the Greek Orthodox dude was because he literally looked like a Dark Souls character. But you're not gonna turn around and shit on every single religious person, right? Jesus Christ. I'm the most sacrilegious, like, Antichrist Andy over here, and still, like, you have to comprehend that there are a fuckload of religious people in this country, and a lot of them are very good.
Women's suffrage,
dude, okay, dude. This take, I swear to Christ and Allah and the Prophet Muhammad, this take is just as dumb as the people who say, oh, like, once we defeat capitalism, we'll magically defeat racism, which is a silly take, and most people don't say stupid shit like that. But don't, like, literally become that edgy r/atheist dumbass who legitimately believes this. There wouldn't be a need for a civil rights movement without religion. Like, what kind of psychotic take is that, dude? Yeah, religion is the only divisive thing in society.
We will march through the South, through the streets of Jackson, through the streets of Danville, through the streets of Cambridge, through the streets of Birmingham.
Remember when Joe Biden marched and participated in a sit-in? No? Oh yeah, that's because it never happened, but he lied about it and then apologized for it And then virtually zero airtime was given to it, except for Jake Tapper bringing it up one time. Meanwhile, John Lewis literally said, I didn't see Bernie Sanders marching in the streets, even though he got literally arrested. But that's a totally separate point.
Personally, I plan to follow the example of 6 current cabinet members, Vice President Pence, and President Trump himself, and vote by mail. To find out everything you need to know about mail-in ballots, your polling place, or even just, am I registered?
You're Selena Meyer.
330.
What are you doing?
330. That would be the president's golf score if he didn't cheat.
Oh no, this person is, oh, I can't watch this. This is so bad. No, I'm muting this. I'm muting this. It's ruining everything for me. Believe me when I tell you that Veep is one of the best written political comedies of all time and the best depiction of American politics. So seeing her outside of that role, but still talking about political shit in her real life is so sad.
Can people?
In its finest hours, America's soul has been animated by the proposition that we are all created equal, and by the imperative to ensure that we are treated equally. Yet America is a mix of light and shadow. Seneca Falls and Selma and Stonewall dwell in the American soul, but so do the impulses that have given us slavery, segregation.
The white moderate party is invoking the name of Dr. King. Of course, what the f would they do at this stage? Also, if MLK was alive, which is like a really shit take incoming after someone says if MLK were alive today. If he was, he would probably also urge people to go vote for Democrat, because what is the alternative, dude? He'd be like, please vote for the white moderate because the white racist is going to kill all of us. Which white racist? Be more specific. The one that's still racist and not the one that did a lot of racist things in the past. It's so funny because, like, imagine being worse than the guy who engaged in racial agitation and advocated for legislation that destroyed black and brown families. Like, imagine being worse than that fucking guy. And there you have it. That's Donald Trump. Worse than the guy who participated in an administration that deported 3 million immigrants. Worse than the guy who agitated to go to war in Iraq. Worse than the guy who is responsible, significantly responsible, for writing such draconian and horrific criminal justice legislation that even Reagan originally had to veto it. That's how bad Donald Trump is. That he's worse than that fucking guy.
His name is Hasan.
Who is not getting them? A little section that's Republican.
But nothing is more dangerous to our democracy than his attacks on mail-in voting during a pandemic. He knows he can't win fair and square.
Sarah Cooper is getting as much time as AOC and more time than Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Pramila Jayapal, Katie Porter. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Oh, that's the worst thing I've seen so far at the DNC.
A union job lifted my family out of poverty and into the middle class.
My favorite person.
My grandfather left the Jim Crow
I love Cory Booker so much. He's such a fucking alien,
on the assembly lines during World War II.
Bro,
our children
is Rosario keeping him fit? Like, what's going on? Did he lose like 20 pounds? This suit does not fit you, Cory.
Let's now work together and stand together. And America, together, we will rise.
Bro, I've never heard someone say all of the right words, but in literally the worst way possible before Cory Booker. He says virtually all the right words. That speech would have been perfect delivered by anybody else. But for some reason, he's such an alien, dude. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. It's just so bad. Sometimes, despite the fact that he does love Big Pharma, or did, Johnson & Johnson, significant for New Jersey, and also turned Jersey City into Wall Street 2.0, Wall Street 2 Electric Boogaloo. I still feel like his heart's in the right place, but he just can't, like, I don't know. He just can't do it.
I have a family of 2, and we have grown-up kids that are no longer in the household. but it takes two people to build. We have an ongoing goal of a 5-year goal of buying a house in the next 5 years. So hopefully we'll save.
Look, everybody, you talked about the middle class. The fact is that
This is
the
really
way
good.
middle class people generate wealth overwhelmingly is building up equity in their home. So keep the faith, guys.
right.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
so much.
know
We
American workers can
appreciate
count on
you.
you.
We need more of that. For sure.
Hi, I'm Senator Tammy Baldwin. When I was 9 years old, I got sick, really sick. I was hospitalized.
And then
But
I
since My
died.
grandparents were the ones
I died and Joe Biden grieved for me. He grieved for me like no one else. So much so that I came back
they
to
were
life.
forced to pay. I got better, but the insurance companies didn't. They refused to cover me at any cost because I was marked child with a pre-existing condition.
Please say public
We were
option at
counted
least.
out,
Please.
left out.
Please don't just talk about
Just
defending the
think of
ACA.
what
Please.
gear
Just
they
a crumb.
need. Young people whose
Just a crumb of
asthma will get
advancement.
worse
Just incremental
as our air
change,
quality
please.
does.
Say it's not just
What
about defending
kind
the
of
ACA. We need to
country
take
do
it
we want
one
to
step
be?
further. It
Healthcare
doesn't
is
matter if Tammy
affordable for
Baldwin
all.
supported Medicare for all or not.
were
So
tens
did
of
Kamala
thousands
Harris.
of
At this stage, they have to
Dream
present a
lives.
unified front. And
I
that
think we know
unified
the
front,
answer to that
please, for the
fundamental
love of
question.
God, at least will
Because
hopefully
most of us
show
want the
that
same
they
things.
want to advance
Good
the
schools in our
conversation.
neighborhoods, and that's the America we will be with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the White House. A nation that plans, a nation that builds, a nation that builds back. Say it with me there at home.
It's
a
not
nation
even my
that builds
policy.
back
It's
better.
your policy.
Here in Wisconsin,
Give me
our
your
state motto
policy.
is just
I beg
one
you.
word. Let's move
It's not even
forward and
details.
never
Just
look
say public option. We need to take it one step further than ACA. That's what I'll concede on at this point. The only time they've mentioned the public option was once when Joe Biden mentioned it in passing on the second night. That's not my policy. That's not what I was advocating for. That's what they were saying that they were going to fight for.
Let me just explain something. I've been a long-standing Republican for a long time, and I'm telling you, you got to vote for Joe Biden. You have to. I don't think we can deal with the type of person we have in the White House any longer.
I think it's pretty cool that the Democratic Party went, searched long and hard, and found every single Republican that's now voting for Joe Biden. Like all of them. All 12 of them have been prominently featured in the Democratic National Convention, which is very cool. So now that we got all of them, maybe we should focus on everyone else.
But military service doesn't just take sacrifice from those in uniform. It's required from their families, too. My husband, Brian, was the one who rushed to Walter Reed after I was wounded in Iraq. He was the one holding my hand, waiting for me to wake up. And when I finally did, he was my rock, getting me through those hours, weeks, months of unspeakable pain and unending surgeries.
It is kind of wild that Tucker Carlson, who shit on me for shitting on Dan Crenshaw, then turned around and made fun of her, even though she literally lost both of her fucking legs. Isn't it crazy how that works? When you're Republican, you could just do that. You could just like shit on a veteran because you're automatically assumed to be the patriot. Someone like Duckworth is the perfect person to speak out against imperialism and virtually have no repercussions. She's paid the ultimate price. Even someone like Joe Biden could talk about it. You know what I mean?
Because of both.
It's so strange to me that they don't.
Bo didn't cut corners. He turned down an appointment to be Delaware's Attorney General so he could win it fair and square. When the field was clear for him to run for the Senate, he chose to finish his job as AG instead. After 9/11, he joined the National Guard. He felt it was his obligation. He did his duty to his country and deployed to Iraq.
Beau Biden served his country in battle. He prosecuted one of the worst child predators in American history. And even though he is no longer with us, every day he still inspires the next president of the United States.
It won't be possible for me to be here this fall, so I have something to ask of you. Be there for my dad, like he was for me.
Jesus Christ.
A couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was absolutely terrified. One of the first people who called me was Joe. His real warmth and kindness on that call, man, I gotta say, it made me cry.
Dude, don't you feel awesome
then returned home
when
to
you hear
Indiana
that
to become a
American
highly
celebrities and Joe Biden have telephone conversations
to Mayor Pete.
whenever they're like dying or whenever they have cancer or whatever? Doesn't that make you want to vote for him more? Certainly makes me want to vote for him. All the death and destruction that has surrounded him his entire life. That's a good marketing tool, I think.
Hi, I'm Cory Booker. Welcome to everybody at home. I am very excited to present to you a group of people that ran in the 2020 Democratic primary against Joe Biden. You could think of this sort of like Survivor on the out interviews of all the people that got voted off the island. Bernie, don't you laugh, because I got questions for you, like, why does my girlfriend like you more than she likes me? But let's move on.
Because she's smarter than you, and that's the obvious answer, right?
Hey, I'm curious because Senator Sanders and Senator Klobuchar, you actually served with Joe Biden in the Senate. I'm wondering if you have any...
I'm just going to say one thing before we get back to this. Just remember that Julian Castro, who worked for the Obama administration, got completely decapitated. Not a single mention, not a single talking spot
was on the
for a young
of the Boston Marathon
Latino
and
Democrat who is worked under the Obama administration. And the reason why he is not a part of this is because he came for the king and he missed, I guess. He did. He attacked Joe Biden. You guys don't remember, I think. Oh, what
President couldn't be more different.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Some facts.
Shield my eyes. What is this freak doing here?
So I want to ask small business owners and their employees one question, and it's a question for everyone. Would you rehire or work for someone who ran your business into the ground and who always does what's best for him or her, even when it hurts the company, and who spends more time tweeting than working? If the answer is no, why the hell would we ever rehire Donald Trump for another 4 years? Trump says we should vote for him because he's a great businessman? Really? He drove his companies into bankruptcy 6 times, always leaving behind customers and contractors who were cheated, handled, and...
What a loser. He brought his companies down 6 times. Okay, dude, fine. But, like, how is this? Oh, my God. Michael Bloomberg is literally just... Him speaking right now is worse off for Joe Biden than not, okay? American people want a real business person like me, Michael Bloomberg.
And let me tell you a little secret. Donald Trump's economic plan was to give a huge tax cut to guys like me who didn't need it, and then lie about it to everyone else.
Okay, this is good.
Well,
never mind. I take it back.
Joe will roll back that tax cut that I got so we can fund things our whole country needs, like training for adults who have lost jobs.
That turned around real quick for me. Holy shit.
More affordable.
Months ago, I met him in New Hampshire. He told me that we were members of the same club. We stutter. It was really amazing to hear that someone like me became vice president. He told me about a book of poems by Yeats he would read out loud to practice. He showed me how he marks his addresses to make them easier to say out loud. So I did the same thing today. I'm just a regular kid, and in a short amount of time, Joe Biden made me more confident about something that's bothered me my whole life. Joe Biden cared. Imagine what he could do for all of us. Kids like me are counting on you to elect someone we can all look up to. Someone who cares. Someone who will make our country and the world feel better. We're counting on you to elect Joe Biden.
Okay, that was decent. Republicans will say Joe Biden's campaign went to the worst depths that you could have and exploit a kid with a stutter. But who cares?
I'm Hunter Biden.
And I'm Ashley Biden.
Joe Biden is our dad.
And Beau is our brother.
We want to tell you what kind of president our dad will be.
He will be tough.
He'll be the best friend you've ever had.
He'll love you with all of his heart.
And if you give him your cell phone number,
He's going to call it.
how do we know?
Excuse me.
Because he's been that way
I'm out of
our
control. I
whole
apologize for that.
lives.
Hunter
Bo isn't
Biden
with us any longer.
is living proof that crack cocaine cannot be as bad as they say it is. Look at him!
Just like it was yesterday.
Look at him! He looks
In
good!
2008 and 2000,
He looks f***ing good!
he introduced
He
our
did
dad at
crack.
those conventions.
He fucked Bo's wife. Now he's eulogizing Bo.
He showed
He
you a
literally
film about
lived
our dad's
life.
journey. We wanted to give
Doing
Bo
every
the last
degenerate
word.
thing you could.
Bo,
And he looks better than ever.
The crisis.
I need more Hunter. That was not enough. Also, literally, this DNC summarized. Here, I'll summarize the DNC for you. Joe Biden, literally there when you die. He's the Grim Reaper. Joe Biden, always on his phone, literally calling everybody in America. Won't do a good job. Doesn't matter, but will call everyone. He is the messenger of death. He is Azrael, and he will call you. Before you die and after you die, he'll call your family members.
As the post-war boom faded, Joe's father struggled to find work in Scranton. But 140 miles south, there was a job cleaning boilers in Wilmington.
But then Joe called the foreman, and all of a sudden a new job was available for his dad when the foreman mysteriously died after a phone call from Joe Biden. Joe Biden has what is known as a death note, a notebook where you write the name of someone and then imagine how they're going to die. And if you don't specify, they die anyway from a heart attack. Joe Biden only uses this.
Tens of thousands of jobs a day.
Oh shit. Oh my God, my light went off, dude. I'm sorry, Joe Biden. Please don't give me a call, Joe. I'm sorry.
Republican votes.
Nearly a century ago, Franklin Roosevelt pledged a New Deal in a time of massive unemployment, uncertainty, and fear. Stricken by a disease,
he was
stricken
too
by a
aggressive,
virus,
Jack.
and
Americans
prevailed,
needed
and he believed
no
America
fundamental
could
change
as
to
well.
happen.
And
But
he
FDR did that
as
socialist
well.
nonsense, pie in the sky ideas.
Together we can and will rebuild our economy. And when we do, we'll not only build back, we'll build back better. With modern roads, bridges, highways, broadband, ports and airports as a new foundation for economic growth, with pipes that transport clean water to every community, with 5 million new manufacturing and technology jobs, so the future is made in America, with a healthcare system that lowers premiums, deductibles, drug prices, by building on the Affordable Care Act he's trying to rip away. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word.
While that speech was going on, I tweeted out a couple of things, and I was
His name is Hasan.
writing my thoughts at
Love you,
least,
Hasan.
so that I could just give you what my opinions are on this convention so far. But in that process, I
love the
realized
system.
something.
I can now remove the tinfoil hat.
Democrats are just as stupid as Republicans are. They are. There are plenty of Democrats who are just as stupid as Republicans. A lot of them responded to me on Twitter when I said, holy f, they literally mentioned the public option once in passing this entire convention and only talked about defending ACA. This sucks insane amounts of ass. These freaks are literally relying on how awful Trump is to etch out a marginal win. It's a gamble that failed in 2016. Some of the answers that I got were, when you realize that maybe you aren't the majority of the base, hope she sees this, bro. You have the ability to use your platform to advocate for change, and yet you use it to stifle actual progress. Those kids in cages would love some Biden right now. Try some more, buddy. Bernie lost. Move on. Why did you move here, lol? You should go back to Turkey. Beat the commie sect. Enjoy your helicopter ride, bro. Lol, Assam thinks America's further left than it is. Many are definitely far left, but the majority will vote against far left ideas if presented with them. I'm not sure if you woke bros were following what's going on in 2016. These people are fucking brain dead. If you are one of these people, I'm here to tell you that there is nothing inside of your cranium. I didn't say, why didn't they talk about Medicare for all? That's not what I said. I said public option. The public option is literally what Joe Biden ran on. It's what Barack Obama tried to pass in 2009. Are you kidding me? There is no better proof that these pathetic, psychopathic morons are only looking at this from like team sports, and they just think they've trained their 3 brain cells into assuming that I'm like the enemy and I want Donald Trump because I'm a leftist or something. And that's why, like, they can't hear what I'm saying. They don't understand. They don't comprehend. They can't comprehend that someone could have changed or could be advocating for something different than what they were advocating for 3 months ago, because it's no longer a feasible option because of the Democratic Party. They're not going to magically start advocating for Medicare for all. I know this, which is why I'm trying to hold them accountable and advocate for something that is ultimately going to be good. Not as good as Medicare for all, but still better than what we currently have. Something that they fucking ran on, and they're still attacking me. Are you kidding me, dude? We literally deserve Donald Trump. We deserve all of the pain that we have gotten so far because of fucking idiots like this who literally just look at politics and think, oh, Democrat, good. That's how we got to Donald Trump. Shit-loving cucks who just literally guzzle the glizzies over and over again, no matter what happens, and get happy that they're just and get happy every 8 years when a Democrat's in a position of power doing absolutely nothing. And then 8 subsequent years after that with an even more maniacal, psychopathic, vulturous Republican. We are here not only because Republicans are pure evil, but also because Democrats are morons. That's why we're here. Because of you hogs who can't even hold Democrats to their word. Establishment Democrats and their policy positions that they were advocating for. Not my policy. I want Medicare for all. Actually, fuck Medicare for all. I want a nationalized healthcare system. But I understand that Medicare for all is a good pathway towards it. It's a good first step. And I'll take the public option if that's the only thing we can push for. I'll fight for the public option if that's the only thing that the Democrats are willing to concede to. But they're not even going to do that. And I'm not even saying I'm not going to vote for them because they're not even advocating for the public option. I'm not even saying that. I'm simply saying if you want to win, you can't rely on how bad Republicans are. We lost in 2016 for this very same reason. And I fought for Hillary Clinton back then, knowing full well how Donald Trump was going to be. But it didn't matter. And these morons are still holding like Bernie bros accountable and thinking that Hillary Clinton lost because of the Bernie bros. At a country when the majority of the voter eligible population does not vote. We're so done, dude. We are done. This empire is dying. I don't know if that will be for the good of the world or if the outcomes will be horrific. But I do know this empire is on its last leg. We are dying. So it's very fitting that we spent the entire Democratic National Convention talking about how well Joe Biden mourns, how well he grieves, how many people have died around him. That was mentioned 1,000 times in the past 4 days. But to heal people and to get them to vote for something rather than against Donald Trump, something like the public option, mentioned one time in passing throughout the entire convention. Now, some of you will say, Hasan, what are you, stupid? Who gives a shit? The convention doesn't change people's minds. Sure. But the convention is for the Democrats to show the rest of the Democratic Party and people who do pay attention to this what their platform is going to be, what kind of messaging they're going to use in the next 70 days. And if that messaging is Joe Biden has empathy in a country where everyone knows that politicians don't give a single fuck about anything. If our goal now is to say, look at how empathetic Joe Biden is because so many people died around him and he calls people on the phone whenever people die. If that is our marketing plan for Joe Biden, that puts us in a really, really, really scary place. And I've been ringing the alarm bells for the past couple of weeks, telling you not to get comfortable. Americans are stupid as fuck. And they're going to forget about all of the death and destruction that Donald Trump brought upon them over and over again. I've been saying this. And now Trump is picking up in the polls in battleground states. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. I want Joe Biden to deliver a historic victory. against Donald Trump. But God damn it, I'm fearful that that is not going to happen. This country re-elected George W. Bush. John Kerry was the moderate. He was going to outflank. He outflanked Howard Dean. He was more patriotic. He was a real veteran. He was going to outflank that kooky veteran George W. Bush, who wasn't a real patriot. That failed miserably. And I'm terrified that these goddamn hogs are going to gladly vote Donald Trump back into office. Would you be this upset if he talked about the public option, or is it more their focus on empathy / Grim Reaper status? It's both. I get excited when someone like Michael Bloomberg says we should tax people like me more. That's an exciting moment. That's a clippable moment. That's a good moment. That's literally Michael Bloomberg acknowledging how unlikable he is and using it against Donald Trump. Perfect. Excellent moment from the convention. It's excellent when they bring up the IBEV guy. They bring up the fucking Texas firefighter. They bring up the frontline nurse, and Joe Biden talks to them, albeit for a brief moment, but still listens to them. It's an excellent moment when the DNC features undocumented immigrants and their plight, putting a face to the cause. That is good shit. And when that's good shit, I call it out. But also, it's in a sea of bad shit, like Hillary Clinton, one of the least liked political candidates of all time. It's extremely bad shit when you have Bill Clinton speak on behalf of Joe Biden. Bill Clinton, even without all the Epstein shit, is like completely irrelevant at this point. When you have Colin Powell, a person who is perhaps most responsible for lying to the rest of the planet with a false justification to go into Iraq. It's very strange to me that this is the forward-facing Democratic Party platform. This is what they want to run on. I'm not asking them to adopt socialism or build a vanguard party. If that's what you were, if that's what you think I'm saying every day in here, because you've made up this like weird psychopathic fantasy in your mind about what I advocate for on a daily basis, I know what is reasonable. I have my personal opinions on what I think would best serve the public, but then I also know what is feasible and what is reasonable. I know what's good politics and I know what's good policy. And right now, the Democrats are not engaging in either.